Buenos días, soy Natalia Sánchez de Spanish-Perfecto and I'm here to help you learn Spanish-Perfecto from level 0. Today, I'm going to teach you to conjugate regular verbs in Spanish. ¡Empecemos! What are regular verbs? Regular verbs are those verbs that respond the same when we have to conjugate them. For example, we already know a regular verb, trabajar. Yo trabajo, tú trabajas, él trabaja, nosotros trabajamos, vosotros trabajáis, ellos trabajan. I'm skipping the feminine part for now. Another verb that responds the same as trabajar will be hablar, to speak, hablar. Yo hablo, tú hablas, él habla, nosotros hablamos, vosotros habláis, ellos hablan. Trabajo, hablo. Trabajas, hablas. Trabaja, habla. Trabajamos, hablamos. Trabajáis, habláis. Trabajan, hablan. Can you see already the similarities between these two verbs? These two are regular verbs. In Spanish, we find 3 different endings for the verbs when in infinitive. Let me give you some examples so you can understand better. Verbs in Spanish and in infinitive. Trabajar, hablar, gustar, peinar, saborear, mirar. Do you notice the ending of this verb? They all ended with AR. Trabajar, gustar, hablar, bailar, saltar. And then we have the second type, beber, comer, ver, leer, traer, distraer. And this is the second type. They all finish with ER. And then we have the third type, vivir, reír, aplaudir, resumir, transferir, transcribir. They all finish with IR. So the 3 types are hablar, it finishes with AR, traer, they finish with ER, and vivir, they finish with IR. All the verbs in infinitive, we have these 3 endings, and you will not find a different one. Depending on the ending, we will conjugate it as follows. How do we conjugate the verbs finishing with AR? It's very simple. Let's take the verb trabajar. We take the AR away and we get the root of the verb, which is trabaj, without AR. And then we're going to add different endings for every pronoun. Yo trabajo, I add an O. Tú trabajas, I add AS. Él trabaja, I add A. Nosotros trabajamos, I add AMOS. Vosotros trabajáis, I add AIS. Ellos trabajan, we add AN. And this will be the same for every single regular verb ending with AR. All the pronouns will have the same endings. Let's do together hablar, to speak. We take away AR and we get hable with the L at the end. So we get yo hablo, tú hablas, él habla, nosotros hablamos, vosotros habláis, ellos hablan. I don't know if you had the time to note all that down, but during next lessons we will be conjugating some verbs together, and I'm sure the more we conjugate, the easier it will become to you to conjugate any other verb. Well, how do we conjugate the verbs ending with ER? Like comer, an important verb, comer. We take away ER and we have the root of the verb, com, ending with M. For the first person of singular, we add O, yo como. Tú comes, we add ES. Él, ella come, we add I. Nosotros comemos, we add EMOS. Vosotros coméis, we add EIS. Ellos comen, we add EN. It's very similar to the previous one, but we change the A for E. And it makes sense because the other verbs were ending with AR and these are ending with ER. Let's conjugate a verb ending with ER together. Leer. We take the root away and we get le. So I will say yo leo, tú lees. Él, ella lee. Nosotros leemos. Vosotros leéis. Ellos, ellas leen. Well done. Could you do that? It's a bit complicated at the beginning. So, how do we conjugate the verbs ending with IR? Like vivir. You already know a bit. Vivir, we take the ending IR and we get viv. In Spanish, we don't make a difference when speaking with V or B. Everything is B for us. So, vivir, viv. Yo vivo, we add O. Tú vives, we add ES. Él, ella vive, we add I. Nosotros vivimos, we add IMOS. Vosotros vivís, we add IS. Ellos, ellas viven, we add EN. And this one is very similar to the verbs ending with ER, but it has a slight difference. Let's do one together ending with IR. There are not as many verbs ending with IR as there are verbs ending with AR. So I will choose imprimir, to print, imprimir. To print, we take away IR and we get imprim. Yo imprimo, tú imprimes, él imprime, nosotros imprimimos, vosotros imprimís, ellos imprimen. In the beginning, you probably think like, oh, this verb ends with AR, so I have to go here, I have to conjugate it like this. It's a better approach just to conjugate it as it comes to your head, you say nosotros, amos. Amos, hemos, imos. And comemos, nosotros hablamos o hablemos. It doesn't matter because even some people in Spanish, they make some mistake with that. So you just try to be fluent and don't be afraid of making mistakes. Well, and this is all for today. I don't really like when it comes to grammar, but at some point it is important to know it. After this lesson now, you only have to learn the infinitive of the verbs and you will be able to say plenty of things. I suggest you do something for learning a bit faster. Try to get involved with the language daily. Watch series, movies, read books, even when you cook, instead of searching for a recipe in your own language, try searching for one in Spanish. You will have a lot of troubles at this point, but you will be forced to look for new words. Another way of improving your language skills, if you don't have anyone there to speak to, try to write down. Write down everything we have studied so far. Write down a conversation between two people who just met. And now that you know the pronouns, you can introduce more people to that conversation. I hope tú no estás aburrido. Next lesson, we're going to talk about pieces of clothes item, what people wear to different events, birthdays, weddings. Muchas gracias por estar ahí y hasta el próximo episodio. Remember, you can always contact me through our website Spanish-Perfecto. Hasta pronto!